Hey viewers and friends and slasher fans, Andrew back at you with another review, and I'm here to review the 2012 Christmas slasher movie Silent Night. This one came out last week and I actually received it with a bunch of other movies from Amazon today. I'm sure a lot of you viewed my previous video where I was actually letting you guys know about the release of this movie a few weeks back. So I definitely wanted to post my review as soon as possible. So I didn't really want to wait till I showed this off in a future update, and I just wanted to check it out as soon as I got it, which was today. Actually just finished the movie about half an hour ago, so I wanted to post my review as soon as possible. So this is a very recent movie, came out last week, and it's a really loose remake to the 1984 Christmas slasher Silent Night, Deadly Night. In fact, you could almost say it's not even a remake. There were two key scenes in this movie that were the same as the original, but other than that, it's a completely different film, especially in terms of the storyline. And yeah, definitely the loosest remake that I've seen ever. Yeah, the storyline behind this one is obviously there's a killer Santa going around a small American town and killing off people that he thinks have been naughty. Throw in a police department that's investigating the murders. There's two main sheriffs in the movie, Jamie King and Malcolm McDowell. They're essentially the two main cops that are investigating the murders and trying to figure out who this killer Santa is. So that is basically the plot. There's not a lot more to the storyline than that. So what I thought of the overall movie. Now, I had pretty high hopes going into it, especially after checking out the trailer and reading some reviews on the movie pre-release before it came out. The trailer looked awesome and the reviews were all pretty good as well. So I thought, wow, we could have another pretty awesome slasher movie on our hands. Upon watching the movie, I was very disappointed. The first 20 minutes I was enjoying it, but pretty much after that the movie went downhill for me, and honestly there was really nothing that the movie could do to redeem itself or save itself for me after probably the first sort of 20 to 30 minutes of the movie. They focused way too much on the police investigation and not enough on the slasher portions of the movie. Don't get me wrong, there were a lot of scenes with the killer Santa, and you know, there was a reasonable body count, but I just thought they focused way too much on the police investigation, and it got pretty repetitive pretty fast. You know, the story never really went anywhere. It was really predictable, and the ending was pretty atrocious, especially in terms of tying up the overall movie. It did a really bad job at that, and the ending was kind of confusing actually, and left sort of a lot of plot holes, a lot of questions, which, you know, isn't necessarily a bad thing, but for a slasher movie like this, it definitely was a bad thing, and it didn't really work out too well. In terms of the cast, there was only two actors that I knew of from previous movies. That's Jamie King and Malcolm McDowell. They were easily the best characters in the movie. Other than the killer Santa and those two characters, I really didn't give a stuff about any of the other characters. They were all pretty bland and mediocre. The killings, they were good. I enjoyed the killings. The gore, there was a lot of gore. It was a fairly brutal and violent movie. So the killings were pretty brutal and violent for the most part. The gore I'm kind of mixed on. There were some really good looking gore scenes, and then there were some pretty tacky looking stuff as well. There was one standout kill scene to do with the wood chipper, which for me was easily the best kill scene of the movie. The rest of the kills, you know, they were good and everything, but they weren't anything utterly amazing. There was another standout kill scene that was there was an exact same kill scene in the original. That was another standout one, but yeah, the kills, you know, they were good, but nothing amazing, apart from the two that I mentioned, the wood chipper one and then the kill from the original movie. Now, the Christmas setting, I also had a little bit of an issue with that as well. Especially the beginning of the film, it really did not feel like a Christmas movie. When Christmas Eve kicked in, like sort of the second half of the movie, when all the Christmas Eve celebrations kicked in, it did have more of a Christmas feel and setting to it. But the beginning of the movie, it honestly didn't really feel like a Christmas movie to me. Yeah. So overall, I am pretty disappointed with this movie. I didn't really think much of it at all, especially in terms of the storyline. It was definitely the film's weakest point and downfall, at least for me. The kills, though, they were good, but unfortunately nothing could really redeem the movie for me after the first sort of 20 to 30 minutes. Would I recommend it? I would recommend renting the movie. I definitely wouldn't really necessarily recommend rushing out and buying the movie, at least not until there's a little bit of a price drop. Blu-ray wise, it looked great, great picture quality, which is pretty much to be expected for a recent and modern release, so no complaints there. The lighting effects in this movie were really good. I enjoyed them. So yeah, the overall Blu-ray was really good, and overall, you know, it's a good release. But the movie itself was a disappointment. So as an overall score, I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. Definitely give this one a rent. It is worth a watch, but yeah, in terms of the overall film, it did disappoint me. I think I would have preferred it a lot more if it had been more of an official remake to the original movie. Especially in terms of the story, I definitely think I would have enjoyed it a lot more if it had been a more official remake to the original, because I love the original, it's awesome. So yeah, that's been my review for the 2012 Christmas / Silent Night. And I'm definitely keen to hear people's opinions on it. So if you've seen this movie, please let me know what you think of it in the comments section below. This one has had a lot of mixed response. A lot of people seem to love it. Other people seem to not like it much at all. So it's really been getting a mixed response. So I'm definitely keen to hear anyone's opinions on the film if you've seen it. But anyway guys, that has been my review. Hope you've enjoyed it, and thanks a lot for watching.